Hey, thanks for joining me. Um, Today I'll be uploading a video titled 2 Months into Jiu Jitsu. So um, it will be an interesting video. I also want to mention I'll be uploading a Friday fight cast finally, uh, featuring the Saturday UFC fight night between Alistair Overeem and Alexander Volkov. So it should be interesting if you bet on fight sports. And my odds are really good, not to brag, but I would definitely tune in to that on Friday. But yeah, I'll also be explaining why I pick who I'm going to be picking. I've already chosen and placed a few bets, but yeah, should be something to look forward to. And a few other interesting topics on Friday. But for today, it will be 2 months into Jiu-Jitsu. Mm, it's a little less than 2 months. Just about 2 months into Jiu-Jitsu. Mm, I also want to say that I'm not totally new to Jiu-Jitsu, right? I've practiced Jiu-Jitsu, for example. My first introduction to it was following my obsession with UFC. And, I would grapple a lot with my brother and emulate what I would see in the early UFC. Um, so, you know, although we probably didn't know what we were doing and really hurting each other as kids, but we were doing moves. We were doing arm bars and triangles and Kimura locks and guillotine chokes and all this, and mounting each other and moving, and it was just out of that obsession with the UFC. It was just so interesting for us kids. Mm, yeah, our generation, we were really into wrestling before that, and then the UFC came out, and before we were grappling, we were doing the wrestling moves to each other. So it was really we were really active kids back then. Anyway, later on, in high school, I would get into fights, and I would train train with friends after school and stuff, and we'd do jujitsu. Um, there was an informal gym, and I must have trained that like 4 times somewhere in BF, where we would train Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. And yeah, I remember getting into fights and using some of what I know. So anyway, that's I'm not totally oblivious to jiu-jitsu when I started. I wasn't totally oblivious to it. And my trainer made comments about that. You know a little bit, but you're yeah, I could tell you know a little bit. That's about all he said. So now I'm 2 months in, and it's really great because I'm finally coming up with realizations that I'm confident with. Basic things like how much hip movement and leverage is important in jiu-jitsu. And strength is just a tool that you can use once you get those things down. But if your opponent is using the right technique and leverage against your strength, they're going to win. So um, I'm learning that really how to use my hips, um, how to move, how to escape. There's certain things really, certain fundamentals that I'm getting down, and it's starting to make sense. The connections are starting to be made. And I'll be honest, before this, I was a little frustrated. Well, I don't want to say frustrated. I was a little concerned, I guess, is the better word, about myself and how I was processing my lessons and thinking, oh, maybe because, Spanish is my third language, and this guy teaches in Spanish. Maybe I'm not um, really absorbing this as I would if it was, in English or something like that. but no, because at the end of the day, he teaches a move, he teaches a few things, and you do it, and it's not about language, it's about really doing it, and you learn that way. So yeah, 2 months in, I'm not good by any means. Against, I feel confident against a guy who doesn't know how to fight. I could probably, neutralize a threat from someone like that easily. Um, but in terms of competition, I don't know. I don't think it would be anything impressive, honestly. Um, but it's really awesome because, I'm finally getting to, um, I'm a black belt. I think that our school uses a stripe system between belts because I've seen other people with stripes on their belts. I have no stripes. I really hope to get one soon, but I've submitted my fellow unranked first, or I guess unranked beginner white belts like easily. Today I've done it quite easily, and I feel good about that. Not to say like, oh, I beat this guy. I feel good because the time that I've invested in this sport, this martial arts is finally you know equating to something, to things that I can actually use effectively, and that's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna continue doing jiu-jitsu. I think this week I'm up for a renewal with my membership, so I'm thinking of committing to like a 3 month membership. So it's really awesome, working with my trainer. And like I did think things actually it's awesome because I realized like doing a triangle, for example, I was able to do that to my brother maybe 50 times, to my cousin, to my friends. I was able to do triangle chokes to people. I was able to get a position from the guard. And it's like, how did I do that before? And so that something that I realized maybe a week ago is, with jiu-jitsu, a lot of it is about feeling. What do I mean by that? Like a lot of the movements, a lot of the right movements, the better movements, the correct movements have to do, especially the basic ones, have to do with moving where it feels right. And that sounds a lot easier than it is. Because for most people, and including myself at this point, most cases you don't really know where to move and what would feel right. So it's a process of trial and error. And the good thing is I'm pretty good at that. I'll immediately try things that don't work, and before maybe my opponent realizes that I've already tried four things, and I'm at my fifth already. And if that one feels good, and I might be able to pull it off. Um, but yeah, I digress. I feel like jujitsu, later on, probably once I get to a level where I can really uh, do proper jujitsu at a flow state, because I know my skills and I can apply it in like, a prolonged grappling situation without really, thinking about my moves step by step, which is where I am right now, kind of. Once I'm there, I think that, I'll really be able to appreciate what I'm saying about its feel is important. Um, or feel or if it feels right, but I don't know how getting out of a guillotine, a tight guillotine choke would ever feel right, to be honest. But um, yeah, it's great because another thing about this is like some of the toughest workouts I get is from the hour and a half of jiu-jitsu I do 3 times a week, and I'm really trying to learn a lot and to get on that level. my mission right now, actually, I hope my training partners and my gym mates are not subscribed to this, but my goal now, I don't want to move back. I don't want any white belt to tap me out. No way. I'm not gonna allow it. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get really good from here. Tomorrow I'm not training at the gym, but I'm gonna train at home. And I'm gonna look at some technique online and really spend a lot of time. Because next time I train, no way in hell I'm gonna allow someone to submit me. And they might, especially a white belt, but they might. And my goal is for that not to happen and to submit someone at my rank. And eventually I want to be able to submit a blue belt. And I think by then, if my trainer sees that, then I think he would consider giving me at least a stripe. Um, yeah, but look, it's not about that. At the end of the day, for me, I'm getting a bit. Um, I think I'm getting a little bit uh, capricious with the belts and the stripes and all that. It's not really about that. It's what I have to remind myself that I'm learning this for another reason, right? And definitely as a fighter, I've always thought of myself like if I go out, I could carry myself. Like if someone fucks with me and I have to deal with it, I'd probably come out winning. But now I've really with jiu-jitsu, that's certainly something I could say confidently, more confident than ever before. And most people would think, oh, that would make someone who has like Alfonso perhaps more violent. He'd probably get into more fights. And to be honest, like I think my view on potential things like that has kind of changed. I certainly got into, interactions with people that aren't, too pleasant. Like I remember the other day, like there was a tight aisle and there was this other big guy like trying to look for something, and he kind of walked by and just, rather than adjust the way he kind of moved past, he decided to just walk, straight through and did a like slight shove. And normally I might have said something like, watch where you're going, or even just making like that kind of a look at the guy. But you know what? I thought to myself, like, it didn't even actually bother me at all. I had to like think about it because I noticed him again later, and I was like, oh, that guy bumped into me as I was lining up to pay. And that's when I started thinking, like, dude, if this guy really wanted to fuck with me, I could just choke him out. So I feel like a lot of my aggression might have been sort of me maybe compensating for some doubt, saying to myself, like, obviously, I'm not a professional fighter and I don't really have any credible martial arts background to say that I could carry myself. It's just me being a tough guy, right? And maybe the whole like question mark behind that, there was just a question mark behind it that kind of had to do with the aggression, maybe. And now there's no question mark because most people already know, like, unless you're trained, high level fighter, I got a good chance of like taking care of myself against you. So something about that actually diffuses things in life. I don't know if that makes sense to most people. I think people who might, early on in their, martial arts journey may have sort of come to the same realization. But that's certainly something 2 months into jiu-jitsu that I'm sort of realizing with myself. And it's really awesome because I'm able to actually be I think a more chilled person. Not chill in a way that's kind of passive, but a person that isn't avoiding these situations, but when I do get into them, I could be less affected and less aggressive. There's just a calmness to knowing that if shit goes down, like I could take care of myself. Um, and my family, that's even another level that's really important. I think, every patriarch should be able to take care of their family in a physical sense against like an intruder or someone in the street who might do harm on your family as you're traversing the streets of wherever you live. So, yeah, I just wanted to share this video to kind of, it's really something like I don't regret doing. I mean, even if like I get into this MMA thing and it doesn't take off and I get my ass kicked in my first few amateur fights. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna stop doing jiu-jitsu. It's just something I really, really like, and it's had so many benefits, I think, to my body. Number one, my back, which used to be a huge problem for me. My core strength, and also just now I feel really calm. Having trained, I had a good session today. I feel really calm. I'm also tired, obviously. Like I couldn't, get angry, but I think like there's also that direct sort of effect of training, and maybe it's not something about jiu-jitsu. Maybe if I did karate, it would have the same effect. I don't know. But I definitely feel calmer after training, usually in the evenings and the day after. I was stressed out today, honestly, at work, and I was going into training. I remember like listening to some music. I was like really like stressed out. But yeah, after training, I feel great. So look, man, I don't know how many of my listeners now. I have about 13 subscribers. I'm happy about that because last month I had what, six? So that's more than double, man. It's still like what are we talking about? Like shit numbers, right? Six now. I have 13 followers. Well, look, I appreciate everyone who's watching these and following my videos. You guys are the most important element to this right now. Apart from me, I have to come out with the content, so I'm the most important element. Sorry. But after that, it's you guys. So thanks for your support. Um, a lot of people have been messaging me directly, WhatsApp, family, friends about this, and they're giving me feedback. I appreciate that. Giving me a lot of praise for doing it, and it's really not a big deal, man. And right now, I don't see this thing with the way it's going. I would be surprised if I'd be able to monetize this channel by this year. I mean, if I could, that would be awesome. But I think really this is for me to, number one, do something I wanted to do for a long time, but also to kind of document this journey. Like so many people say that even to this point, like, being a 33-year-old guy and getting into amateur mixed martial arts and with the plans to become a pro fighter, it's kind of stupid, but maybe it is. But look, I don't know many people who have achieved it. Some have. Randy Couture has. But if I could go against that and prove people wrong, that would be awesome. I could die with that on my gravestone. If not, you know what? The thing is, I couldn't live with myself if I didn't try. So yeah, uh, it's kind of getting deep and emotional there. But, thanks again, guys. I'm gonna leave it at that. Maybe I'll upload another one tonight. Maybe if not, I'll leave it for tomorrow morning. Let's see how I feel. I'm gonna try and box a bit tonight rather after this. Maybe eat something. And yeah, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a good night. Wherever you are, I hope you're safe. You know, Be productive. Don't forget to have some, rest and relaxation if you earned it. And yeah, have a nice day, guys. Stay safe and peace out. Bye bye.